Hello, 7th graders. Happy Monday to you. We are missing you. It is unusual to be doing all of this work outside of school, and it feels weird to know that we aren't going to be going back to school this spring at all. But we're going to keep plugging through this and trying to figure out the best way to keep teaching with distance learning. In talking with Miss Cap last week, one thing that we noticed is that a lot of you needed a little extra practice figuring out what the genotype of the parents would be when you were setting up your Punnett squares on the assignment from last Wednesday with the fur color of the bull and the cow with the black and red fur color. So what I would like you to do today is to do this SpongeBob genetics worksheet. It's kind of going to take a little step back, but it's going to give you a little extra practice figuring out genotypes and phenotypes and finding the difference between heterozygous and homozygous genotypes. So this is the worksheet. It's just one page. It should not take you too long. And I would encourage you to use the vocabulary files that Miss Cap had you look at on Tuesday last week to help you if you can't remember the different definitions. The file that I'm referring to looks like this. It's got a list of vocabulary definitions. The ones that are going to be the most helpful for you are going to be these last four. Okay, the definition for genotype, phenotype, heterozygous, and homozygous. And there are examples that are listed here also. Okay. So the assignment for today, what you're going to be working on, in section 1, you just need to identify if the genotypes that they give you are heterozygous or homozygous by writing HE for heterozygous and HO for homozygous. So for example, the first one is 2 capital T's. That is going to be a homozygous genotype because it is 2 of the same letters. The next one, capital B, lowercase b, that would be heterozygous because it has 2 different letters for its genotype. So you would write HE on that line. On the next set of questions, purebred and hybrid. Purebred is simply another way, sort of saying homozygous. So you're just going to list the ones that you had wrote HO for on this line. Hybrids is sort of a synonym to heterozygous, and so all of the ones that you wrote HE for, you would list on this line. In section 2, you're going to write the phenotype for each genotype. So you're going to write what color would show up if SpongeBob had these letters in his genotype. So if he had 2 capital Y's, and it tells you in the question that yellow is dominant over blue, there are 2 capital Y's, he would be yellow. If he had a capital Y and a lowercase y, he would also be yellow because he has one of the dominant forms of the allele, which is that capital Y. If he had 2 lowercase y's, then he would be blue for his body color because he has 2 lowercase letters which represent the recessive form of that gene. Same thing down here. You're going to use this genotype to say what shape SpongeBob would have if he had these different genotypes or letter pairs. In number 3, you're doing the reverse. It gives you a phenotype, tall, short, and you need to write what genotypes would be possible for Patrick to get those characteristics. So for example, it tells you a tall head is dominant to a short, and it tells you the letters we're using. So to get a tall head, he would have to either have 2 capital T's or a capital T and a lowercase t. To get the short head, he would have to have 2 lowercase t's. And then I would like you to try the same thing down here. It tells you pink body color is dominant over yellow. Please fill in the genotypes that would give you those colors. Down below, there are 2 more sets of problems, sort of similar to the ones that you did with the bull and cow examples on the worksheet from last Wednesday. Use the information that is given to you to create your Punnett square, fill it out, and then answer the questions and list the genotypes and phenotypes of their children. And then there's a couple of questions with percentages for each of these. If you have any questions or you're having trouble with this, there will be a Google Meet this afternoon, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday every week. There's always one from 1:30 to 3 o'clock. If you need help outside of that time, please let me know. Okay, and we'll get you the help you need to figure this out. As we go through the week, we are going to be having a quiz on Thursday, and we're going to be doing one more virtual lab to practice this tomorrow and Wednesday. Okay, thank you. Have a wonderful day. Enjoy the sunshine. The rain has stopped here, and the sun is out. So have a great day.